Welcome to the 6 Minute Business Plan. This is actually one of my favorite business planning classes to do because it's quick. Most people, when they're putting together a business plan, end up spending hours and hours putting something together that's really complicated in multiple pages, and then it ends up in a drawer, never to be seen or heard from again until the next time we do a business plan. And sometimes it's amazing that you actually accomplished some of the things on your business plan, and sometimes not so much. So, I like the idea of a 6 minute business plan, easy to work out the numbers and easy then to implement it into your system. So, what I'm going to do is do the 6 minute business plan. Then we're also going to show you how to put that plan into place. Are you ready? It's going to be fun. The reason we write goals is because we want to have a plan. A lot of people think I have this desire, this wish, this want, this need. What is it? A goal is something that you have aspired to become. And what that means for you is different. And so everybody has different goals. Some of them are personal goals, some of them are emotional goals, spiritual goals, professional goals, health goals. There's all sorts of different goals that you can do that are important to make a plan. A lot of times we say, how do you come up with a goal? Well, sometimes that goal is has to be personal, deeply personal. And so what's nice about having a plan is that you can get excited about it. You can get excited about every step of the way and what it means for you and your life and those people that are important to you. So we want to make sure that a goal is a plan, because without a plan, it is only a wish. And we want you to achieve those goals and make it more than just a wish or a dream. So I'm Coach Katie. I am a real estate leader. I am an expert on realtor and mortgage relationships. So if you are a loan officer watching this, please feel free to share this concept with your realtors. And realtors, this is an important thing to share with your realtor partners. So you are both working on a plan together on how you can both be successful and support each other. I'm an author of Fortune Cookie Leadership, a national speaker, and I love working with my clients like you to help you achieve your goals and dreams. So the 3 chapters from Fortune Cookie Leadership we're going to go over the day is, does the audio match the video? If you erase it, replace it, and the day before vacation. This is after we do the 6 minute business plan. My book, Fortune Cookie Leadership, was written in memory of my mom that passed away almost 25 years ago. And it's really the idea that she had a lot of one-liners, and each of those one-liners had a bit of wisdom in them. And so that wisdom can then be shared to impact your life and impact your business. So each chapter, there's 52, one for each week of the year, to help you create impact for your life and your business. There's this story of where the one-liner originated and then the lesson for you. So we're going to go over some of those lessons today after we do the 6 minute business plan. And you can probably get a stopwatch out. Okay, here we go. This is a business planning for 2023. All right. So the 6 minute business plan is actually very simple. Let's pick this number. This is a number that I have chosen that seems to be fairly positive for most people in the real estate and mortgage space. Is a business plan of making $250,000. And the easiest way to do the math on that is, how much is your average commission check? How much do you make per transaction, and then divide that number by your average, by what you're looking to make. And that's how many transactions you need to do. So 25 transactions to make $250,000 if your average commission check is $10,000. Obviously, you can work out the math however that works for you and adjust it going forward. So feel free to adjust your own number or do it with this and adjust the number later. All right, so getting those 225 transactions for 2023, what I typically see is you've got to have more than 1-to-1. It's more than one appointment to one closed transaction. A lot of times you can do a listing appointment or a buyer presentation and it doesn't come together. The financing falls through, somebody changes their mind, the job transfer doesn't come together. So what I want to do is pick the number, and this is something you will need to monitor throughout the first couple of months of your business plan year, is 25 transactions. I believe it takes about 40 appointments to close 25 transactions. I also believe, realtors, that you list buyers as much as you list sellers. So a listing appointment can be listing a buyer, as much as it is listing a seller. It is a different conversation, but the concept is the same, that they are agreeing to do business with you and buying or selling real estate. So it is an important opportunity for you to sign a contract or make sure you're getting the commitment from the seller or the buyer that they are working with you. And then how many leads does it take to get to an appointment? I have seen it's a 10 to 1. Now, here's my definition of a lead. A lead is somebody that is ready, willing, and able to buy and sell real estate in the next 6 months. Ready, willing, and able to buy or sell real estate in the next 6 months. That is a lead. So somebody that's thinking about moving in 2 years or retiring in 5 years, that's great. That's a prospective lead, otherwise known as a prospect. And you can put them in your system and stay in touch with them. And those people that have a plan of when they're going to be moving typically are the ones that are your greatest referral source because they're already in relationship with you because they have a plan and a vision of what they want to be doing. And then track your conversion rate. Let's see, are those the numbers right for you? You will need to adjust that. How many appointments did I have this week? How many listings did I actually confirm? How many closed transactions from either listing a buyer or listing a seller? And then just make sure you're tracking those numbers. So this is now, how do we do that? Do we divide that by 52? No, I want you to take time out of your business. So we separate it. 40 weeks of the year, you get to work on your business. Now, this is how I define working. When you're working on your business, you're lead generating. So, and I believe a work week is 5 days. You can do more or less. And I would say 5 days seems to be a pretty good standard. Within those days, you are actively lead generating and actively prospecting for new business. That is a work week. So 40 weeks working in your business and 12 weeks out of your business. A lot of people take off Thanksgiving week. They will take off that time between Christmas and New Year's, kids' spring break, things like that. And that's fine. And I want you to allocate for that in your calendar. Get one of those year-long calendars that you can post up on the wall and see what your commitments are and what you're doing. It's really, really important to block that time out. Now, if you are available between Christmas and New Year's, if somebody calls you, you would take the call and go on an appointment. You are not working. You are not actively prospecting for new business. So it can be a vacation week where you're available and you might take the phone call. Versus actually going on vacation, going someplace new, even a staycation where you're going to stay in a hotel near where you live. Turn off your phone. Have other people covering your business while you are enjoying some recharge, which is really, really important. You also can be going to trainings, events, networking things, retreats, whatever your things are, commitments to your personal development as well as your professional development. Those are opportunities to be out of your business where you're going to go sharpen the saw, where you're going to recharge your batteries. All those kinds of things are important. And I also believe that once a quarter, taking some time to go back to this business plan. What's working, what's not working, and then assess and adjust. Because if you are not taking time to adjust this business plan, you may be going down the wrong path for a little bit too long. Maybe even taking half day a month to say, how am I doing for the month? Am I on track? Am I off track? And going from there. So business planning, allocating some time, maybe not a whole week, maybe it's half a week here and half a week there. You can pay attention to working those 40 weeks a year. Yeah, I did say you're 40 weeks a year. Now we've got 40 weeks. You need 400 leads. That's 10 leads a week times 40 weeks is 400 leads. And 10 leads a week working 5 days, that's 2 leads a day. What do you need to do to get 2 leads a day? So maybe you do a great open house and you can get 4 or 5 leads in that great open house and do follow-up. Maybe it's your database. Maybe it's networking groups. What are you doing to get 2 leads per day, 10 leads per week? And that's 1 appointment per week, right? So we're going to make sure if you're doing 1 appointment a week, that's 40 appointments, which we already decided. And you might turn out that maybe I don't need 10 leads to get 1 appointment. Maybe I only need 5. Adjust that to whatever makes sense for you so that you are hitting your appointment number. The appointment number every week is the main one. Am I having an appointment with a ready, willing, and able buyer or seller once per week for 40 weeks? That's what you need to track. That's the most important thing to track is your appointments. And then are those appointments turning into listings or buyer contracts with people? And then you're closing a transaction every 1 or 2 weeks. So if you're working basically 10 months a year, that's 2.5 transactions every month. And you can do that math on that going forward. Right. And that's it. That's your business plan. I might have been less than 6 minutes. So I really want you to keep it simple on your business plan, that you're focusing on your appointments and making sure you are tracking your conversion rate from, if I have 1 appointment a week, how many of those over the course of a few weeks are turning into signed contracts of either listings or buyers. Okay, so you probably want to know how to implement it, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is talk about your calendar. Does the audio match the video? If you're really saying, I need to make $250,000 to hit some personal goals for my family, for kids' college, for whatever is important to you, maybe you want to fund some sort of an organization, whatever that money means to you is what it is going to drive you to achieve these numbers. So does the audio match the video is more about, are you doing what you said you were going to do? So I think sometimes we can watch people on a Zoom meeting, and is the audio matching the video, right? The internet kind of cuts out and it's like, oh, that looks so weird. Like they're talking or they're frozen, but I can hear them. And so it gets very confusing. And so what is important to know about this is that if the audio is matching the video, you can move things quite along and you enjoy the conversation. And we know when things are off. I use the example of Law and Order, where the detectives are like, wait, what did you say? Like, that doesn't seem to line up. Your audio of what you're saying and your video of what you're doing is not aligning. So making sure that our actions line up with our commitments. Honoring your word is really, really important, because your actions demonstrate your commitment always. If you want to know what's important to you, you can track your day. What do you do every 20 minutes? How did you spend the last 20 minutes? What about if you looked at what time you started your day to what you're doing now in 20-minute increments? Where did you spend your time? Wherever you spent your time is where your commitment is. For all of us, myself included, I catch myself procrastinating on some projects from time to time. Oh, I don't really want to have to do that. And so I'll pick up the phone and call a friend, or I'll have a business conversation that may go a little longer because I don't really want to do the other project, which is the last thing on my list for the day. And these kinds of things happen all the time, and we know that we are choosing this. So your actions demonstrate your commitment always, and just pay attention when your actions are in alignment with your goals. And we're going to screw up. I screw up. I totally screw up. I'm like, yes, I'm committed to getting this done. And then all of a sudden it's late in the day, the sun is setting. Uh-oh, how committed am I to getting this done? I said I was going to get it done. Am I getting it accomplished by the end of the day? And what needs to happen to make sure that I can accomplish that goal? It's challenging. I set goals for myself on step counts. I set goals for myself by number of calls I need to make on a daily basis. And sometimes I get behind and I do not plan my day well. And so now I'm in this mad rush to get everything done by the end of the day. So you're going to make mistakes. So now at the end of a day where I may be overcommitted, I can prepare myself better for the next day. For what commitments am I going to make for tomorrow that will align with my schedule and my commitment and energy level, to make sure that my audio and my video are absolutely aligned. And if you do nothing, you don't make mistakes. So mistakes means you're learning. Edison used to talk about all the ways he learned not to make the light bulb. Awesome. So it's a great opportunity to make mistakes, learn, adjust, learn, adjust, learn, adjust. And be curious about, I wonder why I do that. That's interesting. That's my procrastination thing. Why did that show up? And pay attention to it so that when you're correcting and adjusting towards your goals, you're really clear on how to make sure that doesn't happen again. As far as putting things on your calendar to make sure that your goals are being met on a daily basis, you need to have use a concept called time blocking. So time blocking is really a great tool to help you figure out what is important in your week. All right. This is a concept I learned in the early 90s when I was in corporate sales. And it is a fairly common practice. I used to do it on an old school binder Now we do it. Some people still use a binder. Some people do it online. I use Outlook to do this. This is not my actual calendar. It's just a screenshot that I used here from obviously many years ago. And the concept is still the same. Color coding things. I liked to color code things even when I used a manual calendar. I still do it on my calendar for what I use online with Outlook. And so I know when I need to be doing my lead generation time. I know when I have appointments. I know when I have personal time. All of those things are color coded. So I'm really, really clear on what needs to happen next and make sure that where my energy is focused early in the morning versus later in the day, what needs to be accomplished, and how am I going to get that done today because it's on my calendar. Sometimes when I'm in a meeting and there's follow-up items for me to do, I will actually find a spot on my calendar to put time on there of like, these are the time for me to get those to-dos done from the meeting where I have some follow-up to take care of. And it's super important to make sure that those things can happen. So color coding things is really valuable. Some people color code everything. I color code usually in 3 or 4 different colors based on where my focus needs to be for the day. And because what happens when we time block is that it actually creates this sense of I'm picking a spot to getting it done. And it's a type of discipline. My friend Jocko Willink says that discipline equals freedom. And at first I thought time blocking felt a little restrictive, like, oh, I got to fit in this little box. And actually, it's the opposite. When you time block the most important things on your calendar for the day, the week, the month, the year, you make sure that the commitment is there to get it done. It's not a chore. It's a yes. I'm so excited I get this done. I'm excited to do my lead generation because I know that the more lead generation I do, the more opportunities I have to meet clients, which gets me closer to my goal. And it's like, yes, the sense of accomplishment that you're moving closer and closer every day versus like sitting at the end of the day, oh, I didn't really lead generate today. I want to get more committed. Then put it on your calendar. All right. And everything can be an appointment, right? Sometimes you feel like the guy juggling on the left of all these things that need to happen. And you also want to have some fun, which is the picture of the boat on the right. When I first got into real estate, I had 3 little kids. Like I had a baby. And it was a struggle. Or how do I do all of this? How do I go to the mommy and me classes and feel like I'm ignoring my clients and still run a business? And how does this work? And my friend Debbie from San Diego, who had also started the business when she had little kids, said, oh, this is easy. Everything is an appointment. Nobody has to know that you're at a mommy and me class or your kid's soccer game. You just say, I'm sorry, I already have an appointment. Nobody has to know what that is. And I thought it was brilliant because then it just helped me say, hey, this is where my focus is. This is where my priority is right now. Awesome. Well, Debbie then bought a boat because she lives in San Diego. And the name of her boat is An Appointment. So you call Debbie and say, hey, can you meet Friday afternoon? And she will likely say, I'm sorry, I'm already booked. I'll be on an appointment. You know, it's places like the library in Austin, Texas, near the University of Texas. So have some fun with it and make anything you want an appointment. Maybe it's a special place that you go to recharge. Maybe you buy a boat and call it an appointment and have some fun with it. So what's a time block? This is a question I get a lot. Well, I don't know what to time block. Do I time block every single aspect of my life? No, we're in a sales field where things happen. Things come up. You want to have some white space in your calendar to make sure that you can handle things that come up that are last minute, that you do need to react to them. And it's interesting though, the more proactive you can be, the less you have to be reactive. So what to time block? It's really only 3 things. 1, time off, your personal time. When are you going to start your day and end your day? And maybe that varies from day to day. On Mondays, I come in early. On Tuesdays, I come in late. Whatever your schedule is, make sure that you are blocking off the time that you are not working. That's great. Healthy boundaries are important for you and for your clients. Personal time. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a massage. I like to get a massage once a week or once a month. Put it on your calendar and set it as a non-negotiable. All right. And then lead generation time, at least an hour, 90 minutes every day, 5 days a week to do your lead generation, active lead generation, voice to voice, face to face. And there's so many different ways, which is a different class, 101 lead generation ideas on options for lead generating. So putting that time on your calendar is super, super valuable to make sure that you're continuing to feed your business. That's what lead generation is, constantly feeding your business. And then appointments. We know that you want to have 1 appointment a week to do 40 appointments in a year. Great. Time block 2 different times on your calendar when you would like to meet. And then just let people know, I have an opening at Tuesday afternoon or Thursday morning. What works better for you? Buying and selling real estate is most people's largest financial asset. It is a really big deal. Making time on your calendar that works for you so that you're at your best and you can provide the best value for them and get them the information they need is important to them. And that's something that we need to be reminding people, that this is not something we do super late at night or early on the weekends, or it's an important decision. And yes, sometimes we have clients that, based on their jobs or their schedules or a whole bunch of other things, that we have to make adjustments. You can put time on your calendar, say, these are my ideal times to meet with buyers and sellers, because that's when you're freshest, you're in the best opportunity to really serve them, be at your best to provide them with what they need for their largest financial investment of their lives. And then white space. I'm a big fan of blocking off some white space a little bit every week for just planning, letting your brain rest. Maybe be in a work mode, maybe you meditate in a professional setting to get creative about what needs to be done. I used to go to a park with a notebook and a pencil and leave my phone in the car and just write out some things. And my creative mind got a chance to really stretch and grow and figure out what needed to be done, working on solutions to challenges I was having at work and really having an opportunity to serve. Now, here are the rules of time blocking, right? If you erase it, replace it. That means if you've got to move one of your appointment times to Wednesday versus Thursday, that's fine. The thing is it doesn't go away. It doesn't just like, oh, I'm not doing that this week. No, because you've set very specific goals on your 40 appointments in 40 weeks of working. So it needs to go someplace else. Yes, it's possible you could double it up the next week. Hey, we all have crazy weeks or get sick or life happens. And so it's okay to do that. You just got to put it someplace else on your calendar. And if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Those things that are most important to you, your actions demonstrate your commitment. Always. The things that are most important to you go on your calendar. And figure out what this is. So for me, when it's corporate sales, we had a trip to Bermuda. I had a little picture like this of Bermuda in my car to help me stay focused on my calendar. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I really wanted this corporate trip to Bermuda. And so when I looked at my calendar, I said, okay, I've got to be making my lead generation calls now. I've got to go visit clients in the afternoon. That was the motivator to help me continue to create great momentum. So figure out what it is for you. And our brain thinks in pictures. So having a picture of what your goal is and what this does for you is really valuable. And we have the day before vacation syndrome, right? So we all know about this. We know how we get when of the day before vacation. We're like the most efficient people on the planet. And also you get busy. That's always the thing that's funny too. Get ready to go on vacation. Suddenly your phone rings like crazy. Like, wait, I'm going on vacation. How am I going to handle all of this? And we become the picture of efficiency. We're doing emails, we're returning calls. Hey, I'm busy. I got to go on vacation. Quick calls, handling what you need to handle in an efficient and effective way so you know it's handled while you go on vacation. So why don't we go on vacation all the time? So this is sort of my mantra for, it's a horrible idea. What time? Like, let's go on more vacation. Why not? Because when we take vacation, we become efficient. So what does vacation mean? Well, when I was running a real estate office of about 200 agents, I had a staff of 6, and I was doing team meetings. I was doing 8 to 10 recruiting appointments a week. I was training in the office twice a week and meeting with my top producing realtors in the office. And I left the office at 2 o'clock, 3 days a week to go pick up my kids from school. So I was having the day before vacation syndrome every day. It was crazy. And I got it done. And we had a great productive office. We were very successful. And my boss had said to me, you've got this day before vacation syndrome 3 days a week. I was like, I do. And what was interesting is I was way more effective on the days I left early than the days I stayed for the full day. I let more casual conversations happen. I wasn't quite as effective with my time, and I wanted to make sure to spend some more quality time with people in the office. So it was okay. It was a balance. And the idea is figure a time when you need to go on vacation. So is it, I'm going to pick a yoga class that I go to and I leave a little early a couple days a week to go meet a trainer, go meet a friend for a walk, go to the movies. It doesn't matter to me. It has to matter to you. Creating a shortened work week will actually, or work day, will actually create a whole level of efficiency that you can do more with less time. It's really amazing how creative our brains can be when we're given the opportunity to do more in less time. And that is the 6-minute business plan. If you are wanting to share my information, feel free to share the CoachKatie.com information. And I appreciate you taking the time to learn about the 6-minute business plan, to learn how to put that information into practice. And I am glad you're here. Make it a great day.